Hello again, everybody! Zack Attack is here with the attack line for Thursday, January 3rd, 2013. I gotta say it's 2013 still, so there you go. This is my second attack line of the year, so here we go. Kicking off the attack line today with your Billboard number ones. Kicking off 2013 with still number one album and still number one single. First, your still number one album. Yes, for the sixth non-consecutive week, Taylor Swift wings in the new year with the number one album again, When. Still on top to begin the year. And besides that, Taylor also has the digital number one. New digital number one with I Knew You Were Trouble. Headlining a huge week for digital sales. Post-Christmas surge. And a huge week of digital downloads. 55 million downloads, a new record for the week of after Christmas. But despite Taylor's surge on the digital songs and still having a number one album, as I mentioned, we still have a number one Hot 100 single. As Bruno Mars retains number one with Locked Out of Heaven for I think the third or fourth week in a row. But I Knew You Were Trouble, which is number one digital, as I mentioned, is heating up on Bruno on the Hot 100, however, at number two. So Taylor's on Bruno's tail to get the second number one from When on the Hot 100 following the hugely successful We Are Never Ever getting back together. So there you go. Big week for digital. Week 55 million. Taylor Swift and Bruno still number one on Hot 100 and Top 200. But when it comes to year-end charts, the number one album of 2012, biggest seller. Yes, still Adele. Still all about Adele in 2012, despite the album came out in 2011. It was Adele's number one album, best-selling album 2011 and 2012. And the biggest song of 2012, because I should have guessed, Don't TA, somebody that I used to know was the number one song of the year, biggest seller. So there you go. That's the year-end charts of Billboard, along with the first charts of the new year, with the Hot 100 Top 200. Now, speaking of New Year, on with some sad New Year starts for Justin Bieber and Frank Ocean. First off, Justin Bieber began his new year breaking up with Selena again. And unfortunately, after that breakup, he was kind of involved, where his car was involved in a deadly accident this past Wednesday night. As a paparazzi was killed while trying to shoot Justin Bieber in his Ferrari, trying to smoke weed, I'm reading from this article. That a LA paparazzo who thought he had spied Bieber smoking weed was struck and killed by a car as he watched to photograph the star's Ferrari and then been pulled over by the cops. The teen pop sensation was not behind the wheel. It was actually his friend Lil Trist. The relentless shutterbug, whose name was Chris Guerra, died chasing a bad lead that later reignited a debate about paparazzi culture in the slum-bad city of Los Angeles. According to some reports, the fatal sequence of events began Tuesday at the Four Seasons Hotel, where freelance reporter Chris Guerra, who had been dodging Bieber's clique all day, thought he saw the singer smoking marijuana and staked out the building. The 29-year-old photographer told a friend, according to TMZ, the friend told TMZ that Chris told him that if it takes me all night, I'm staying out here. I'm getting this story. He was smoking weed. I hope something comes out of this. He thought it was on a huge story with Bieber. When the ostentatious vehicle left the hotel, Guerrero gave chase, not knowing the car, Bieber's Ferrari, was being driven by his pal, Little Trist, like I mentioned. At 5:50 p.m. on Tuesday, the California Highway Patrol pulled over the $200,000 ride for speeding on the 405 freeway. Cops then ordered the driver off the freeway and onto the nearby boulevard. Guerrero arrived and crossed the boulevard to get a shot of the moment, thinking he was about to capture Bieber in an embarrassing moment. The cops instructed Guerrero to stay in the car after the cops pulled him over. He complied and was struck walking across the 4-lane road. Bieber, who was, like I said, not involved, his friend was involved, released a statement later on saying that my thoughts and prayers are with the family of the victim. Hopefully this tragedy will finally inspire meaningful legislation and whatever other necessary steps to protect the lives and safety of celebrities, police officers, innocent public bystanders, and the photographers themselves. Of course, as we all know, paparazzi likes to get those stories. If this accident, kind of like the Sandy Hook tragedy and the Aurora tragedy, will make people think about paparazzi sticking out celebrities after this tragedy happened with the driver. And like Bieber, thoughts and prayers go out to the friends and family of the victim. Sad that the paparazzi was caring more about someone else's life than his own life. Get it? Because the paparazzi cared more about getting the scoop on Bieber fucking up than caring about his own safety. So that's kind of a reality check for you right there with Bieber's call being involved in a tragic accident, although he wasn't driving at the time. Now, Bieber had a rough start to the new year. So did Frank Ocean. He ended 2012 with a big year for him with his huge album, Channel Orange, getting big nominations at the Grammys, winning song, record, and album nominations and Best New Artist nominations. But he ended 2012 and began 2013 auspiciously by getting busted. According to several reports, the rising R&B star was busted for possession of marijuana during a New Year's Eve drive near Yosemite National Park in Northern California. A spokesperson for the Mono County Sheriff's Office tells an NBC affiliate that the 25-year-old Ocean was pulled over by a deputy with an assist from a California Highway Patrol officer who spotted his black BMW speeding on Highway 295. As the deputy approached the vehicle, he reportedly smelled marijuana, and a search allegedly eventually turned up a small bag of weed on Ocean's person. The singer-songwriter was cited for possession of marijuana and released. But then it was found out he had a suspended license, I heard as well. So, there you go. Frank Ocean busted for pot possession, and I think he was driving with a suspended license too. That's what I've heard from other sources as well. And of course, this won't affect him attending the Grammys next month. Like I said, he's nominated for a lot of awards. Alright. Now, with some news on my girl, one of my girls besides Gaga and Madonna, Britney Spears. Now, Britney had a decent 2012, joining the X Factor this past season, although there's been a lot of rumors about her being fired from the show, which still aren't true yet. And having a little bit of a hit, getting back into music with will.i.am and the collabo Scream and Shout. Because people getting mad at Britney for not taking the opportunity to release new music while on the X Factor. But she did tweet that she is in the studio working on a new album, the follow-up to 2011's Femme Fatale. Yeah, I heard Femme Fatale. It was a decent album. There were some decent songs on there. Till the World Ends, I Wanna Go, and a #1 hit, Hold It Against Me. And Britney is working with will.i.am again on a new album. will.i.am did work with her on the Femme Fatale album with big fat bass. So they're going to collaborate again on Britney's album to pay off for Britney collaborating with him on their song Scream and Shout, of course, heating up the charts. And I can't wait to hear some new Britney. You know, I'm looking for a lot of albums in 2013. Gaga's album and Britney's new album. So, see who's better. Because they both released albums in 2011. So, we'll see who's better in 2013, Britney or Gaga, when both their albums come out next year. So, get ready to hear some new Britney and Gaga, too. There you go. Britney Spears in the studio. Now, on with the TNA Impact Wrestling preview for the night. 1/3/13, of course, a big night. The first Impact of 2013 with, of course, a return. Top 5 questions that must be answered this evening. Question number 5. What will go down tonight to begin a new X Division tournament? Now, there's a tournament starting tonight on who will get the shot against RVD for the X Division Championship at the next pay-per-view, Genesis. It'll begin tonight with Kid Cash taking on Christian York. The winner of that match will take on the winner of next week's bout for the X Division tournament, Katie King against Zima Ion at Genesis And the winner of that match will get the shot against RVD that night. So, when it comes, I bet you York will probably win this match against Cash tonight. And we have my predictions on next week's bout, King and Ion. Definitely Kenny King's got a lot of animosity with him. He believes he deserves a shot. So I bet you Kenny King, despite Zima having a big ego like King does, King's ego will probably rise above Zima's. And King will get the win over Ion and take on York or Cash at Genesis. Of course, the winner of that match at Genesis, the finals, will take on RVD that night. So you win the tournament on Genesis, get the shot that night against RVD. Question number 4, we will go down in a big steel cage tag team match tonight. Of course, 2 members of Ace and Eights will be taking on Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe in a steel cage tag match. But despite the steel cage, Ace and Eights may still get involved outside the ring since they can't get in the ring. Well, they'll probably climb it or something, but we'll see if Ace and Eights, other members of Ace and Eights, will interfere in this matchup tonight, which they probably will. Because like I've said many times before, when there's one Ace and Eights in the ring, you can expect the other members to not be far away. So there you go. And especially the whole Anderson thing with Mr. Anderson thinking about joining Ace and Eights as we saw last week. So we'll see if anything new develops with Anderson thinking about going to Ace and Eights, which I said last week in my review. I don't think so, because the last time Anderson was in a group, it didn't last long. Ain't that right, Fortune / Immortal? Alright. Question number 3. Who will win the Impact Wrestler of the Year poll? Well, the Wrestler of the Year poll is closed. The nominees of that are Jeff Hardy, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, James Storm, and Bully Ray. In my opinion, the winner will be, yes, the TNA champion, Jeff Hardy. So, I smell a triple threat. I mentioned it last week. We get Austin Aries and Roode will get a triple threat against Hardy. I bet you they both will get involved in the presentation of the award if Hardy ends up winning it, which I'm predicting he will win the Wrestler of the Year poll. Alright. Question number 2. What will go down tonight between Hulk Hogan and Brooke Hogan and Bully Ray? Now, of course, 2 weeks ago, we ended Impact with Hulk Hogan seeing his daughter playing little tonsil hockey with Bully Ray. Of course, Hulk Hogan wasn't at Impact last week, but of course, Brooke told Bully that Hulk knows about it. So expect some sort of altercation between Brooke, Hulk, and Bully Ray tonight with this whole situation boiling over. So we'll see what happens there. And the number 1 question must be answered tonight on Impact. What will go down when Sting returns? Now, of course, we've seen the 1-3-13 videos for the last couple of weeks. And, of course, it was revealed, yes, as I fully predicted, it was Sting. And, of course, Sting may get involved in the cage match. That's what I'm thinking. He may get involved in that steel cage tag match tonight with Ace and Eights taking on Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe. That's probably when I think Sting will make his return. But indeed, Sting's out for one thing. To take down Ace and Eights, one member at a time. And he said in the video, Doc will be first. So there you go. Sting returns tonight on the first Impact of 2013 tonight on Spike TV at 8, 7 Central. Right, that is it for the Atakline for today. See you later tonight for my TNA Impact review. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the news from Zach. Thank you again, everybody. See you later. Oh, yeah, yeah.